we'll go back to sound 2 and we'll create a sample, because there's loads of things. You can generate sounds here, generate them, but you can also process them. Basic things like filters. Now let's add super chicken, shall we? There we are, nice little chicken sound. Again, I'm pressing Q on the keyboard there for each time it appears. But you can click play there. It can be controlled by either thing. Let's add a low pass filter. You can hear it's muffly. That's the cutoff frequency. You can adjust as you wish. Dragging is always left and right. You don't drag it round in a circle. You just move the pointer left and right. Apply that there. Let's add another sample. So this will overlay. Let's add artillery. Bang. Let's make it a bit more interesting. You've got a few controls with the sample engine, as you can see. So we can turn up the chicken sound. That sounds quite fun. Why not? Delay is interesting because it adds a pause to the start. In this case, 1 second. See, you can choose between seconds or milliseconds. So sounds like a chicken exploding. Let's add a short. And we'll call it exploding chicken, why not? Exploding chicken. Now we'll look at some other effects. If you look at this, you've got an environment as well. You've got one environment called primary, and basically all of these sounds, S1 to S12, are played, and then all of these are played. So you've got 24 boxes in a row. These boxes are called engines. And you can see this list has changed because I'm in an environment, because you can't generate sounds here. This is for applying effects, because you might want to create a second one. So let's create a second one, and we'll call this cave. We want this to sound like it's in a cave. Let's listen to our exploding chicken. Now let's pick oxyverb, why not? Reverb effect. Fantastic reverb effect. We can turn down the decay. So it decays a little faster, you can turn it up. It's a big cave there. You've got quite a lot of controls with this one. In fact, if you turn up to 4, it will go on forever. If you hit the enter key, which is what I just did, the equivalent of kill, it will instantly stop the sound. There we are, which is useful for this sort of thing when the environment's carrying on forever. If you just click stop, the environment will continue. So you hear the echo, which can also be interesting. Right, diffusion controls how smooth the whole thing is. In particular, how smooth this reflective delay, this pre-delay is. So you've got a lot of controls just in this reverb. Now let's add another delay, basic delay. This is a simple effect. And interestingly about this is that these environments, you can switch to that one, it's off. So you can create different sounds for different game environments or different environments you'd like to do. So if I click cave here and go bang, our bang effect now sounds like it's in the cave. I could, for example, put a filter here instead of a reverb, and suddenly the bang sounds like it's there. And the exploding chicken is also filtered. So this could be like behind glass or something. And well, that's a rough guide to some of the features. You'll also notice that all of the environment plugins can also attach modulators as well. So if the dry effect on the reverb controls how much of the original sound is on. So if I turn dry to 0, then all you hear is the reverb tail. But of course you have complete control over this as well. So if I put fade linear on here, set decay to 0, this will Actually, I'll put it on wet as well. Then you'll hear that this reverb will last 2 seconds and die off. Of course, it continues a bit because of the echo. We'll turn off the echo. Let's clear that. There you go. No reverb at all. If I disable it so you'll hear the difference. It goes on for a little bit.